What's cracking, Jack? It's Monday, October 27th, and you are in the jungle. 11 games in the association tonight. We're going to break down all of them right here, right now. Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Happy Monday. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome to the jungle. I'm going to break down all 11 games in the association and give you a best bet, sometimes two, for each one of those games. And I'm going to leave for you two links in the comments section. The first link is to my $5 favorite play of the day. And for just $5 and no further obligation, you get my best bet of the day text to your phone. Yesterday's bet was Scotty Barnes over 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. We didn't have to sweat it out at all. He ended up with 50. The second link is to become a Jungle member. And for as little as 55 cents a day as a member, you get my full betting card text to your phone every single morning. All sports, pardon me. I cap MLB, NBA, NFL, college basketball, and college football. You also get access to our members-only Discord and a direct line to me if you'd like me to opine on any other bet that you're considering placing. We have a free weekly trial. Take it for a test spin and see if it's for you. Today's video is brought to you by Outlier.bet, the top name in sports betting research, and by Red Lobster, hiring the staffers that Buffalo Wild Wings didn't want. First game up, we're looking at Cleveland at Detroit. Cleveland minus 2.5. Over-under set at 231.5. Both teams are on back-to-backs. I like the Cavs minus 2 in this game. As good as Detroit has been, they struggle against teams with good big men. And that's what we have here with the Twin Towers. Jalen Duren, the Pistons center, tends to struggle with teams that have good big men. He gets into foul trouble early and changes the rotation plan that the Pistons want to incorporate through the game. That will be the strategy here, I think, for Cleveland. Rotate Jared Allen and Evan Mobley at Duren, get him into foul trouble early. But my favorite play in this game, pardon me, is Lonzo Ball of the Cavaliers over 4.5 assists. It's a line that Lonzo's been over every game so far this season. And with Darius Garland out, he's getting more minutes. This is the first year Lonzo didn't have to rehab his knee, and he's looking good with Cleveland. With the Cavs being short at guard and being on a back-to-back, I expect Donovan Mitchell to play less minutes today. So expect 24, 26 minutes from Lonzo. Your best play in this game is him over 4.5 assists. Next game up, Orlando at Philly. The Magic minus 5.5 on the road. Pardon me, over-under at 226.5. Philly's an offensive-minded team. Orlando's a defensive-minded team. Usually, when contrasting styles collide like this in the NBA, the slower-paced team imposes their will and makes the fast-paced team play half-court basketball. That favors the Magic here. And evidence of this is Tyrese Maxey, Philadelphia Sixers superstar. His last 4 games against the Magic, he stayed way under his player props. Orlando does a good job of taking your best scoring option away. I like Orlando minus the points on the road, and I'd also look at Paolo Banchero over 24.5 points. Boston at New Orleans, Pelicans minus 1.5 point favorites at home. The over-under at 233.5. I think Boston's in trouble here. Both teams are 0-2, but the Pelicans are scoring 11 more points a game than Boston is. Celtics are a veteran, banged-up, beat-up team on their second day of a road back-to-back, and New Orleans hasn't played since October 24th. They lost to the Spurs in that game, the mighty Spurs, by just 4, and they've been resting ever since. They have a healthy Zion. They have a good roster. I'll take the Pelicans minus the 1.5 and also look at Zion over 38.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Hawks at the Bulls. Chicago plus 1.5 over-under at 242.5. Zachary Ricochet, Jalen Johnson, and Porzingis. All game-time decisions for the Hawks. Kobe White out for the Bulls. Josh Giddey, a game-time decision for the Bulls. Play the over in this game. It's a very high total, but you know what we say in the jungle, man. We play the high totals over, and we play the low totals under. These are the second and third fastest-paced teams in the NBA. And you would think that from a common sense standpoint, with their best players possibly out for the game, that would be a lower-scoring game. But the opposite is usually true. When the stars are out, there's ordinarily a lot less defense. Players that are getting more minutes, try and get on the scoreboard, try and impress the coaches. I like the over 242.5. That's the play here. Nets at Brooklyn, highest point spread of the day. Houston minus 15.5. At home, pardon me, over-under at 225.5. Brooklyn on a back-to-back. Now, I gave you Brooklyn yesterday, if you remember, to cover the spread of 11.5 against the Spurs, and they did. I don't think that's the case in this game, though. Remember in yesterday's video, I said as long as Cam Thomas and Michael Porter Jr. are hitting their perimeter shots, that the Nets can keep this within the number, and they did. Cam Thomas had 40, but the Rockets defense won't allow that. Not my favorite game on the board. It's a big spread, but if you're going to play it, I would lay it with Houston. Raptors at the Spurs, Toronto plus 5.5, over-under at 233.5. Both teams on back-to-backs here. I like the over in this game. Toronto scoring 128 points a game, and they're giving up 126. Spurs are scoring 121 and have a point differential of plus 16 a game. I think the Spurs will win and most likely cover, but the best play for me is over 233.5. Oklahoma City at Dallas. Dallas plus 8.5, over-under at 226.5. The Mavericks are in a back-to-back after getting the first win of the season yesterday against the Raptors. Oklahoma City is 3-0 and doing Oklahoma City things. Despite a 10-point win yesterday, the Mavericks still have an average point differential on the season of minus 11, which is second worst in the Western Conference. And the Thunder have a point differential of plus 8 a game. OKC was off yesterday. Dallas was not. I would lay the 8.5 points with the champs. Phoenix at Utah. The Jazz plus 1.5, over-under at 231.5. I mentioned that the Mavericks have the second worst point differential per game in the West. Well, Phoenix has the worst at minus 15. Utah's plus 10 on the season. Dylan Brooks is questionable for Phoenix, and I like the lineup that the Jazz are putting out there. Starting lineup, especially with Markkanen, Kessler, and Filipkowski all starting. Give me Utah at home plus the 1.5. Denver at Minnesota. Nuggets are minus 5.5, over-under at 228.5. A big part of handicapping this game is knowing whether or not Anthony Edwards is going to play. He left yesterday's game with a hamstring injury. Even if he does play, he'll be somewhat limited. I like the Nuggets in this game, laying the 5.5. I'd also look at Aaron Gordon's over points. Memphis at Golden State. Memphis plus 8.5, over-under at 238.5. I like the Grizzlies in this game to cover the number. Warriors are 2-1, but those 2 wins have both been very close. They're not pulling away from teams. And despite a winning record, Golden State still has an average point differential of minus 1.3. Memphis can score. They average 123.3 points a game and do most of the work inside the paint. The Warriors have a hard time defending the paint. They defend the perimeter a lot better. Look for Ja Morant to drive to the hoop early and often. And look for Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr., to have a big day inside. When he plays the Warriors, Triple J's point average goes up 4.2 points. I like the Grizzlies to cover the number of 8.5. And the last game we're looking at, Portland at the Lakers. Lakers on a back-to-back, and they're without Luka again. I think that Portland matches up very well with the Lakers here at every position. Portland's a very good team, and I don't want to say anything, but I'm going to say it. The Lakers have the highest free throw rate of any team in the association, and free points when the clock is stopped is very hard to overcome. I think the Blazers have the better team here. The backcourt of Drew Holiday and Shaedon Sharpe, to me, is better than Smart and LaRivia. And I like Deni Avdija better than Austin Reeves. I like Kamara and Hachimura. I like Kamara better than Hachimura. Both centers can rebound. Neither one of them can shoot. I take my chances with Portland minus the 2.5. Let's have a day, Jungle Nation, and I'll see you next time with a little more money in your pocket.